let's do a taupe eye look. Both of these are taupe from Mario. I'm gonna start with the liquid shadow. I'm gonna focus it on my lid. And then I'll grab an E29 and just kind of buff that towards the brow bone, focusing most of the pigment on the lid. But I feel like once you start to bring it up towards the brow, it's gonna transition and be a little bit lighter anyways. This shadow is actually a little bit warmer than what I would hope for, but the pencil, which we're gonna get to in a second, is definitely more of a true cool tone. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of this finishing powder. Finishing is exactly what it sounds like. It's gonna go on last. And I'm just going to kind of do a final blur, just really on the edges. Don't worry about the lid, it's just more about here. I honestly find a reason to use this taupe liner every single day. I love it so much. I'm just gonna come in at an angle. And you have to kind of have your tools ready if you do want to blend this out, which is kind of a good thing because we want it to dry down and we want it to set, but we do want to be a little bit fast if we want to smudge it at all. I just noticed that I grabbed a dirty brush. I had used this one with clean canvas, so it might have lightened that a little bit. So let me switch to a clean brush. Sabotage. There we go. Just tap, and you can see that it will layer nicely too. I love this liner formula, but I will say this color is the one that I'm reaching for the most. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do this on my waterline too. Easy peasy. I actually like to do cleanup before I start to add any kind of foundation around here. I'm just using a little bit of micellar water on a fluffy brush. Now the fluffy brush isn't going to take away as much as something more dense. And then I'm just wiping it on the back of my hand, not adding any more micellar water. Not only does this kind of help us use less correctors, less concealers, because we're not trying to cover up what was kind of unappealing to the eye, the yellows around here, the darkness, but also it's not going to cake up later because there's going to be less product underneath all that foundation and concealer. I think I'm gonna skip lashes today because I'm having a good lash day. My Prada mascara. Oh, that looks so good. So remember I bought these. This is the darker shade, and I bought this back when I would have been my winter shade. So the other one that would have been closer to my skin tone in the winter was way too yellow, but I think this might work now, and it might actually be a little too light, but the undertone is really good. It's not yellow, it's nice and cool. Let's see what happens here. Let's take a gander. I'm reaching for another brush. This time I'm gonna make sure it's clean. There we go. This is the C32. Back very soon. But like actually back really soon now that we're closer to fall. Looks good. Doesn't look revolutionary though, to me. I'm trying to not wear as much makeup today, no reason. Just trying it out. So this is a little too light. Do you see how it's not really covering anything? It looks blurred, and I do like that, but it's not dark enough. So what I'm gonna do is grab my Cali Ray corrector here and just put a little bit of this on top. Same brush. And see if this will give us the little bit of depth that we needed for that not to start accentuating everything. Yep, and it didn't really darken it either. Now I can't see that blue, and I don't have any shadows. Much better. So I did something fun the other day. Instead of covering up all of my redness, I'm not upset with my redness. I get a lot of messages or really comments about why do you cover up redness just to bring back redness? And in a sense, I mean, I get it. It totally makes sense to even comment that. But for me, sometimes I don't want this color of redness. There's so many different colors, but if you don't want to wear blush, but you just want to kind of use that redness. I'm just going to color correct. This is going to feel so gimmicky, but this is absolutely not, and it'll take 2 seconds. Grab a dense brush to control it, and I'm just going to kind of color correct and use my redness as blush. We have fun. You can see this difference. My redness, especially on this side, it comes down a lot lower, and it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of using that redness to my advantage. Fun, right? Let's do it on this side now. I'm just bringing it over to that redness. I normally have redness around my nose. I feel like a lot of us do. That's so cool. Yeah, we have fun. I know I say that a lot, but it just cracks me up that we can just do little things like that. I'm just so you know, I'm going to use this fluffier side because I don't want the, I don't really need the green here. I didn't have redness there, so we want to kind of make sure that we don't put green on top of skin that doesn't need the green. Now this is the C40.5, and it is coming very soon. We don't do hype here, but we're a little sassed and excited about it. And make sure that you are signed up for emails so you don't miss it. I wasn't sure if this was something that we were all wanting. I got a lot of requests for it, but we don't have a ton of these. And I never do that to cause, you know, go panic and buy it. But just think about, do you need a little bit more precision? Do you have a smaller face? Because I don't want you to have 1,000 different brushes. That's why I didn't come out with 1,000 brushes. So that being said, if this is piquing your interest, it's coming extremely soon. And I'm going to just keep a little bit more control over the bronzer with this shape. And if you like to use cooler tones or contour, you're really going to like this. But the main reason I wanted to do a smaller version of the C40 is because I did have so many requests from people that do have a smaller face. And the idea of the original C40 is really transitions. It's about having a little extra fluff to transition, but you're still going to get that with this. But you can see that it is just, it's a hugger. It's like me. And if you like to contour or just lightly shape your nose, look at that. But then it has that right amount of fluff to blend, so there's not harsh edges. It's just precision and then blend. I love it. Now I've talked about this quite a bit and how much this wand can deposit. And sometimes that can be a lot, especially because I wanted to put it underneath here. So I'm just gonna grab it from the wand instead. That would be so much for underneath here. And I wanted to use this instead of the liner because it is a little bit warmer. And anytime we can have some warmth underneath our eye, it's going to be so flattering. Because think about color corrector. With our color correctors that we use around our eye, normally they're warmer peaches, oranges, and even reds, depending on your skin tone. So this little extra warmth from the shadow underneath there is just gonna be very, very flattering and warm and have kind of a little smidgy of a color correcting effect. Set, not set. And I'm using my Givenchy because I like to brighten later. And also the way that this, well, really any setting powder, the way that it's going to adhere, work into concealer, foundation is going to lock in. And that's what you want. Now, depending on the brand, some setting powders are going to be a little bit heavier. Me and this Givenchy powder are actual best friends. I mean, case and point. But I'm saying all this so I can explain finishing powder a little bit better because I know it gets so confusing. And then what is baking and all of that. And I have lots of videos on that. And I know sometimes I'm a broken record, but we have new friends here every day and not everybody is gonna scroll through 10 years of me posting. So with the setting, I like to lock it in with a puff, even though I'm inching closer to 40. the way that I am able to layer things, the products I know to use, the skin prep, I'm not having any issues with the puffs. But for a finishing powder, you do want to use a fluffier brush, and you want to do these little swirling motions because you're kind of just mixing and melting everything together. And this is going to be the lightest pigment that is going to be close to your skin tone. It doesn't need to be identical, but you're wanting kind of that wash of your skin tone back on top of everything. And that is what gives a gorgeous blur. Now, it's an added benefit when you have a baked formula of this. And also, I mean, updated technology, but I love this. I love it so much. New favorite lip liner. This is Biscuit Westman Atelier. I just love the shade so much. And I feel like it's not a super long wear. Don't think of it like the Maybelline or the Fenty. I know I'm repetitive, but I don't want you to buy something and then be like, oh my goodness, it didn't wear as long as the Maybelline. It's not the same formula, but it's definitely long wearing for how creamy it is. I can usually get about 4 to 5 hours out of it without having to kind of touch up. And the only place I would really have to touch up is like here. I love the color though and the texture. So good. And then I've also kind of fallen back in love with this lipstick from Makeup by Mario. I'll put it in the center. You notice how I kind of like dabbed it on and then went heavier and heavier? It's kind of a really easy way just to get a little extra pouty highlight. And then I grab my lip liner and then I just continue to blend. And there's our look, a little unconventional glam, still kind of smoky. It's got the bronze, blush, why thank you, it's mine. And then I thought we could just zoom all the way in. This is 5 times zoomed in. Skin's looking good. The blush is just so fun. And by blush, my skin. Under eye looks good. Got my wrinkles, I am human. But you see there's no makeup caked in there. It's okay to be human. We just don't want makeup in there. This looks so good. All right, my friends, I love you so much. Definitely gonna save this one to my highlights. I like it. This was fun. All right, love you. Bye for now.